it's me, Ciaran. Where am I? I'm in Heathrow Airport. Why am I in Heathrow Airport? To those of you who haven't spoken to me in the last 3 months, I am off on an adventure. I'm off to teach English in South Korea. And this is where everything starts. I'm sure during the day this is meant to be really impressive to look at. At night, to be honest, it's a lot of indistinct lights. So yeah, if any of you followed me before, last summer, I did a few vlogs while I was in Italy. And just like that, I'm in some sort of shopping centre. No, not really, it's an airport. Of course it is. I got interrupted at the other side, but this is my new series of vlogs while I go and teach in Korea and not Italy. This is a fancier place, isn't it? On arrival there was a 3-piece string quartet with some hand drawing, which I'm hopefully going to add here. And I might show you a little bit of the shopping centre as well. But I have an hour before my flight over to Daegu from Seoul, so I'm going to get something to eat. And that is my introduction to a series of vlogs. And there might be a part that I'll edit in later, and that would be lovely. And would you look at that? It is lovely. I've added a bit in at the end, a little bit later. Several days, in fact. The reason for that is that at that point in the video I was exhausted and I got on the flight to Daegu. The 2 seats next to me weren't occupied and they were about to finish the boarding process, so I think, oh, these people aren't going to turn up. And I just can't wait for the plane to take off and I can lie in those 2 seats and have a nice little snooze for an hour. And the whole process is taking ages. We get stuck on the tarmac and I closed my eyes for a bit. And the next thing I knew is that people were moving around me. And I thought, oh, buggering hell, we've had a delay. You know, I can't get to Daegu, which is where I really want to be. That's where my bed is for tonight. How annoying. How very annoying. So everyone seems to be getting off. So I grabbed my stuff. I started to move off with everyone, and the first thing I noticed was that the telescopic tunnel that takes you from the plane door to Incheon airport is gone. It's a flight of stairs. And I'm like, oh right, okay, that's interesting. What happened here? And we came into the terminal building. I thought, oh, this is interesting. This isn't where we were before. And of course, that's because I'd slept through the entire flight and I missed the whole journey from Seoul to Daegu, which is kind of a shame, but I did appreciate that sleep. And I wanted to record my trip in, but Young-hoon, who works for Moonkang, the Hagwon I'm working for, a really lovely man who's telling me all this really useful information, and going through Daegu for the first time was a little bit overwhelming, and by Asian standards Daegu's not a big or busy city, but it's still 2.5 million people. It's still a big city. You know, it's about as big as what is essentially Birmingham at home, which is where I'm from, but it's in a much more condensed area. And there's all these lights flashing and all this traffic whizzing around, and I'm being told all this useful information, but I can't process it because all I want is to get home and have a cup of tea. So that's why there was no vlog, and then I've had a few days of transition, which, to be honest, is a bit tedious and involves a lot of going out to try and buy mattresses. But that's kind of the journey of my way in. So in a more, shall we say, articulate way than I phrased Incheon airport, this is my new series of vlogs, and I'm hoping that the next one will be me showing you around this neighbourhood, so I can show you sort of what a non-touristy city in this part of Asia is like, in a fairly low-key neighbourhood, because it's not quite what you think it is. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye now.